Hello and welcome back from spring break. So here's what we got going on. Your segment ideas, some are okay, some are not okay, and a few are actually really good. So our objective is I want to be able to outline a meaningful segment that meets the requirements, which didn't really hit on that very well before you guys got started, and you completed this classroom assignment to make sure that you have a solid idea. I think the students have struggled, didn't have a solid idea to start with, and so it makes the whole assignment not work well, and it just ends up being difficult for the student. So let's get into that. So a few things to do here. Please stay with all throughout this entire video if you could. So we have again, you need to have a school local or an education, and then one more that's more like a state national, right? As a group. Okay, so some of you might want to switch. So what I did is I went through and I highlighted your ideas. If it's green, I think you'll be able to go with it as long as you do it well. The ones that are yellow, I need to know more. It says golfing team. PW golfing team, I hope. But what are you going to say about it? You know, what are you going to be asking? What's the focus of it? All right. Also, like this one right here, they're all sports. We didn't talk about this, but we shouldn't just have the whole newscast be a sportscast. All right. I want students learning stuff, no matter what you are. It doesn't matter where you're at in here, learning stuff about it. You know, for example, I think minimum wage going up. Well, we don't know if it's going up anymore. That died in the last bill, but like that's a good topic because it's been around a long time, and you know, I don't know if minimum wage going up is the word. Maybe it's more of like a should it go up or will it go up? Or maybe looking at states where it did go up compared to states that it didn't go up. So even if you're in green, you might have to modify this, kind of refine this to make sure it's good, okay? None of these are a no-go, except someone in the sports category here. I think we gotta like change a little bit. Maybe we could pick another sport or something. I think overall the NCAA National Championship, that's going to be over by it's going to be long gone before yours airs. So I think if anything changes, it should be that one there. Okay. All right. Anyways, if you're green, you're probably good to go. If you're yellow, you just got to tell me more. Voting age, where? America, I'm assuming, but like who? And should it change? Is it going to change? I just tell me more. Or is it about the history of voting age? Because it's been different at times. All right. Anyway, so what we need to do, sorry, I'm clicking all over. I wanted you guys to like focus in a little bit. So here's what I'm going to do. I have these requirements here. So if you're local or school, you got to have one or more cited sources. You got to have interviews with people of authority, like a coach, a principal, maybe it's a business owner, okay, teacher in their subject. Like, don't ask me about science. I have no authority there at all. All right. If it's a school policy or if it's a sports thing, principal and coach makes sense. If it's about minimum wage, maybe that could be a business owner thing. Likely you're probably just going to feature, you know, something about businesses that happened in the last year. B-roll that you record. So record the students and staff or whoever it is doing the things they're talking about. If it's a business owner, take B-roll of them taking care of the shop or whatever it might be, okay? And back to that cited source, you know, statistic, polling, trends, relating it to current events, something like that would make sense. So if you talk about COVID at PW, maybe you'd want to reference something at the state level or national level. If it was about sports, let's say, maybe, I don't know, maybe, you know, football participation has been going down, but at PW, I don't know. Okay, you know what I'm saying? So that's what we're looking at. And then state national education. So you got to have 3 or more cited sources, but you're not necessarily going to have a formal sit-down interview of someone with authority. So your authority is likely going to be coming through those cited sources. So it's got to be a reliable news site. It can't be some blogger or whatever. You know, Britannica, Johns Hopkins University, Pew Research Center, Congressional Budget Office. You know, you got to actually have good sources for what you're talking about. And that's going to vary completely. Like CBO would make sense for example, minimum wage, because they talk about how many jobs might be lost or gained. Will pull people out of poverty, will put people into poverty, things like that. Interviews from staff and students reacting or giving their opinion of the story. All right, so you don't have to, they don't have to have any authority, right? But maybe you want to get like people's opinions about minimum wage or what they would do if they were paid more or less. Okay, that's maybe a good way to start it, but then you're going to look more into it through your research, research using those 3 or more cited sources. And then B-roll from online sources. So like, if you talk about a president or the economy, Wall Street, you're probably just going to get B-roll from that. But I want you to have B-roll of the people you might interview as well. So, if you talk about, kid mentioning something about minimum wage and what you do with the money, maybe you can get a couple shots of him doing that thing or talking with his friends or whatnot. That's going to be a little more difficult. All right, maybe students working their job or B-roll of the business doing their thing, And then context and balance to your story. The people you interview and the information you offer should cover both sides of an issue. You might pick something that doesn't have both sides. Like you might just talk about artificial intelligence and like where science is going. There's not going to be 2 sides. And that's fine. Just make sure the balance is you're not only you supporting the information that is this side or that side, but also the people you interview. So hopefully they have a little bit varied opinion and else just parroting the same thing. All right. So there you go. So if you're state, go with this. If you're local and school, look at this. Those same questions basically show up here. So we're going to do in your document. Here's the assignment actually then. You're going to tell me what your category is. It's your news story, what information you're going to be using. Again, I want you to focus on things that students don't know. Don't tell us about you're required to wear a mask in Michigan while playing sports. So yeah, we know that. Okay, like tell us more. So make sure it's things people are learning. Same thing with like how'd the season go? Pretty well. We won. Yeah, everyone knows that. What maybe more of like what's the secret to your success? How did it make you feel? How did the seniors react? Things like that. We'll get into questions later. All right, now you only have to fill out this part out if you're local in school, and you fill out the national state part if you're a national or state story. Where does the education one fit? I should probably put it here. Education, state, and national. All right, sorry about that. I missed it. There you go. So these questions I basically already went through in that previous document, so just refer to that. But these are the questions you need to answer. And then you should be set up really well to match the rubric and do just fine. Okay? Do this well, and your life will be a lot easier over the next couple weeks. Okay? All right, welcome back. Hope you had a great spring break, and I'll see you guys in class this week.